Uh, Thank you for staying to the last, but the best panel, the most exciting panel. Very, it's okay. We got a very exciting topic we're going to talk about today, financial inclusion. And it was covered a bit in the beginning. There was a lot of stats at the start. They talked about 54% of the population worldwide is unbanked, this is in the region, if not mistaken. 42 million have registered accounts in the region. The main two services are top-up over the mobile and also P2P transfers. Smartphone penetration was around 70+% in the Levant and GCC, and then North Africa, it's around the 40% penetration. We'll talk about those later on, but maybe if you can introduce yourself and then 2-minute definition of, from your point of view on financial inclusion and what is required to increase it to a suitable level. We'll start with Katharina.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for staying on. My name is Katrina Brown. I moved recently to Jordan. I'm with GIZ, that's the German Development Agency, and we're implementing here a project together with the central bank that is called remittances, and it aims at digitizing remittance payments mostly, but we also look at other financial services for unbanked Jordanians and also refugees. I think I'll hand over to you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Michaela. I am the CEO of Democrats. What we do at Democrats is that we aim at democratizing insurance. As you have heard this morning from Her Royal Highness Princess Sumaya, there are different aspects of financial inclusion. One of them is actually insurance, and I might be biased, but I think that middle to high income people don't have any vital need for insurance. I think that all of us in this room, we don't actually need insurance. We have other sort of risk protection tool. We have our savings, we have our family, we have our government, but in the case of low-income people, they don't have access to almost any of those. So if something happened to them, if they die, if they go to the hospital, who is going to take care of them? So with this in mind, I don't know if we have access to the voting system yet.
We'll have that later on.
Okay. Sure.
Doctor.
Yeah, very good. Well, good afternoon. My name is Adli Kandah. I'm the Director General of the Association of Banks in Jordan. And we were talking before I joined the session about tokenization, and digitization and privatization. So, we simply add ization at the end of each word. So we become digitalization, or I don't know what you call it. It's very difficult. Usually when I join any conference that is organized by Arab Advisory Group, I feel that I am a backward person. Simply out of date and etc. So I'm trying to update myself on what's going on the electronic and payment systems and all the digital things that are going around us. And next time I will bring my son, so he will be up to date with you, and then see. Same, you are the same, huh? Okay. So, well, we'll try to talk about the financial inclusion in Jordan and in the region, in the world, and how can we include more people to have access to finance, whether we are talking about financial services that are provided by the banking sector or any other sectors that have money, simply. So We'll try to be brief and direct to the point, and I'll try to learn from the session, actually. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ustaz Khalil.
Thank you. My name is Khalil Al Alamy. I'm the CEO of International Cards Company, ICC. We're a service provider. We're actually in a unique situation where we are a credit card issuer, an acquirer, and a third-party processor here in Jordan. We come from the other end of the spectrum. You know, financial inclusion is a very important topic, especially that the statistics that we've heard this morning about only having less than 500,000 credit cards in Jordan for a population of, I think, which is over 9 million people, or around 9 million people. So I hope I can add a Jordanian twist to the definition and a Jordanian experience from our aspect.
Thank you very much. Before we start the questions, we've got our first poll, please. It's a small, we've got 4 or 5 votes. If we start with the first one, this is your poll. How many of the adult population worldwide are financially excluded? We got 20 seconds and the poll is open. 30 seconds. Excluded. You can vote by each pad maximum 3 times. By each unique person, please. 100 million, 500 million, 1 billion, 2 billion, and 4 billion. Hala, you will answer it on your point on there. Out of a worldwide population of 7 or 8 billion, I believe. 8 billion now. Okay, can we see the results? 45% they say there's 2 billion that do not have any bank accounts. Katharina, can you start and comment on this? This is your poll and you probably have the information.
Sure, but maybe I'll let you speak first. You wanted to vote, so you can vote verbally.
Please go ahead.
And yeah, it's interesting what comes up here because it was mentioned actually earlier this morning, but there were different numbers quoted. So I think that shows us that we also don't have really reliable data about this issue. And I think this morning the number was 1.5 billion. This is from the World Bank. This number of 2 billion that are financially excluded. And it shows that we looking at a really big issue. And usually when we measure financial inclusion, we look at bank account ownership. But really we want to look at a broad definition of financial services, because just owning or having a bank account doesn't necessarily make you financially included. You can have a bank account, but the bank or the next touch point is, you know, I don't know, 100 kilometers away or even 50 kilometers away, so you won't really be able to use it very well. Or you might need a credit and you have a bank account, but it doesn't necessarily give you access to credit or insurance, as we've just heard. I would like to also disagree with the middle to high income people don't needing insurance. I'm from Germany. I think we're the over-insured population in the world. We have insurance for everything. But financial inclusion, and that's my point, is really like a really broad topic that we want to look at. And we don't want to look just at bank accounts, not just at payments, but really like at all services that the excluded people need. And maybe I'll say a little bit to the importance of financial inclusion. There's, again, different data, but it's broadly acknowledged that it has really positive impacts both on household welfare of individuals, on SME growth, but also on macroeconomic levels. There is a chicken and egg problem here, but the larger the population that is financially included, usually the higher the growth rate of the economies. So it is really something that is worth working at. And I'm very happy to discuss this here with the panel. But I hand it over back to you first, right?
Doctor, today in Jordan, they say there's, 1.5 million bank accounts. So how does the Association of Banks looks at financial inclusion, taking in mind that half of the population is under 16 years old?
Yes. We have problem in the data, actually. So, I mean...
problem with the data?
With the data, yes.
Okay.
Because, I mean, when we talk about financial inclusion in Jordan, usually we rely on the data of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, in which it says that we have 1.6 million people having accounts in the banks. But this figure includes people that have more than one account. So this means that, I mean, the people who are financially included might be less than this figure, so less than 25%. So we need to have more accuracy in the data and then start working on that. As my colleague mentioned, I mean, those people who have an account does not mean that they have access to all the services or even, I mean, the minimum of the, amount of the services that are available in the banking sector. So we need to work on this and then to include more people, to widen the scope of people that have access to the financial services in Jordan. And the Central Bank of Jordan is very much, I mean, doing a great job on this by announcing, I mean, last year they announced that they are working on a strategy, of national strategy for financial inclusion, and it includes 5 themes in this regard. And we think that financial inclusion is very important. Talking about, I mean, micro finance enterprises, talking about SMEs, poor people, even rich people. I mean, they have accounts in the banks, but they don't use, I mean, the usage of services is very important. I mean, the United Nations and even G20 countries, they have basic sets of financial inclusion indicators in which they focus on 3 main indicators. I will read those indicators. The first one is access to financial services, and the second one, the usage of services. This is very important. I mean, it is not only important to have an account, but to use the services that are available. So even when we talk about financial inclusion, myself, I don't only focus on the poor people, or less disadvantaged, but even the rich people. We need to have those people included, I mean, use these services. And the third indicator is the quality of products and delivery. This is very important.
So we've got access, usage and quality of products.
And quality. And these indicators are, I think, included in the strategy of the central bank, the financial inclusion strategy. So we need to match, I mean, the availability of the supply and demand of the services and products, solutions that are available in the banking sector and other sectors with the supply side, with the demand side. So to include more people, because this has a positive impact on, as my colleague mentioned, on the growth of the economy.
Okay, thank you.